Ho, ho, ho. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the First Pencil with Kathy and Mike. You like that? Nice. My name is Mike the Car Guy. With me, as always, the wicked, awesome, amazing car gal and friend to horsies everywhere, Kathy Cruz. Kathy, how are you?
Doing well in this Mercury retrograde
Brr.
pre-Christmas frenzy.
Perfect storm of all the atmospheres that can go wrong in this time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because you can certain things will give you like a bellwether, and we've had I think 6 or 7 people want to get rid of their horses. And in case those listening don't know, horses are super expensive to keep, especially in Orange County. It's about 500 a month, I'd say minimum, but they also require a lot of time because you have to exercise them and stuff. And mostly that's boarding because nobody has up a space for them to be at their house. But yeah,
True.
I mean, I get it, but yeah, it's something's definitely going on. There's, like I say, 6 or 7 people have reached out already. Oh, hey, you're a horse rescue. Can you rescue my horse that I don't want anymore because I can't ride it?
Simply take it off my hands.
Yeah, we'll just, sure. Yeah, we have plenty of space. Yeah. I laugh, but it kind of enrages me. But other than that, I'm okay.
And take over all the costs associated with it, too,
Oh, of course.
because
Yes,
I'm
without
done.
any money. Yeah, that's the other thing when they relinquish, because we will take, usually we take the ones that are older and have issues, right? And yeah, oh, here you go. No, but not even like $50. Not
Right.
even
I'm over it. It was fun. Can you just go ahead and take it now?
yeah. Oh, people. Yeah.
Well, I let off with ho 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 because if you're listening in, probably catching it on a replay, it is the 21st of December, or right before the big holiday, right before the end of the year. So lots of stuff going on. And the reason I mention the date is because, as we get towards the end of the year, so many people start to review the past year and look forward to the next year. And Kathy's your email, your newsletter that came out is just full of so many great things. I really, really wanted to dive in on it. So it made sense to reference the date and coming into the end of the year. So it makes sense why we're going through some of this stuff.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. And it's basically just my take on a study from Cox Automotive, regarding the service department. And it just comes down to like customer service and customer experience. It's always down to that. It's, price is a consideration, but trust and loyalty are waning even more, according to the study. Um, and then so we wanted to point out some of the things. Just there's 3 factors that are highlighted in the study of this lack of trust, or like erosion in loyalty, and that so the first one is perceived overcharging. So customers believe that dealerships charge more than independent shops for similar services. The second one is uncertainty about necessary services. So customers just, they have questions about it, and they're recommended by the people at dealerships, and they're recommended as essential, but sometimes not necessarily. And the customer is kind of weird about that and not sure, uncertain. And then the third one is just general dissatisfaction with value, and this sense among customers that the value received from the dealership's services do not justify the higher costs. So those are the factors that got pointed out in the study. And so I went on and just shared like my take on trying to like, and I've worked out like endless customers like scenarios to kind of figure out ways to delight and satisfy the customer. And so Mike was reading it, and he had a story, and one of these, how many did I list? 9 different ways to approach like what you could do like in the new year, let's say, um, that you could improve service revenue, because revenue is tied to trust and loyalty. So,
And
okay.
it's so relevant right now because over the course of this year, we've gone from, a sales boom to now a
Yeah.
sales bust. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's not me being doomsday. It's just being the ways of the world without going off on a tangent. The front end of the dealership is not where it's at right now. The focus and attention has to be on the back side, the fixed ops side, service drive, because that's what's going to keep your business open. It's going to keep you afloat. And even though this stuff isn't new, it's great to review, right? As we end the year, what are you thinking about next year moving forward? One of your points on there, in fact, two of them that I could kind of bring together: enhance communication and focus on customer education. If there's a distrust, because if you walk into the service drive and you walk into the customer lounge, oftentimes you'll see a service advisor walk in and say, oh, hey, by the way, we noticed that you need this, whether it's a cabin air filter or a brake pad or whatever. you know First of all, they use automotive lingo that the customer name may not be familiar with, and they do it real matter of fact because they're in a hurry, they got a lot of things to do, and there's not always that willingness to just accept what someone's saying, and because it's going to cost extra, go ahead and do that. Yes, I'll spend another 200, 300, $400. And if they're at home, it's even harder, right? You call the customer, leave a voicemail: hey, by the way, we saw that your car needs a cabin air filter, I can get it done, call me back, it's going to be $100, whatever that is. Accepting that word is very difficult. That's why there's such a prominence of tools out there with like photo video enabled MPIs, so you can show the customers with videos by the technician. And even little things, that's one piece, but that's already into the repair, right? Before the customer even gets to the dealership, I shared with you, back in 2013 I actually lost a job because it's a funny story.
Hard to believe in the car business.
2013. Keep in mind that TikTok wasn't a thing yet. Instagram was kind of a thing, but video wasn't the primary sharing, right? It was photos and stuff, so there wasn't a lot of places for this kind of thing. But I had a salesperson that worked with me, and he knew I was loving the social, and we were trying to do all kinds of fun things, and he had an idea for his customers that he sold a car to. He said, hey, Mike, I want to give these guys information on what to do for their first oil change, because at the time the dealership was paying for the first oil change, rather than just say, hey, let us know when you need your oil change, it's free, it's over there at the service drive. He wanted to take the extra step to build his customer base. So he came up with an idea. I was going to film him doing a video where he introduces himself: hi folks, it's Joe with ABC Motors. It's been about 35, 40 days since you took delivery of your vehicle. It's probably going to be time for its first oil change. Wanted to show you where to go and what to do. So we walked through the service drive. Goes, this is the service drive, you're going to pull in here. Walked into the service office. This is the guy you're going to talk to. His name is Mike. He's my go-to guy. Any of the team in here is ready and able to help you, but this guy I've always worked with, he does a great job. It was just a brilliant idea. Well, as we were filming it, the general manager of the dealership pulled in. It was probably 10:30, so yeah, he was right on time, as he normally would pull in. And as Billy was walking across the drive, he stops and he goes, hey, what are you guys doing? What whoa. And he stops the whole thing, looks at the sales guy and says, you get up front and grabbing up. There's no customers in the service drive. Go up front, that's where you stay. You come into my office. And we started having this heated exchange about why we were doing that. And I was like, look, dude, I'm trying to build a culture, an environment here that people want to work at and people enjoy working at, and it's going to benefit you. He's like, no, what's going to happen is he's going to become internet famous. He's going to leave and go to another store and take all my customers with him. I said, here's a thought. How about we make this such a great place to work that he doesn't ever want to think about leaving? And it went downhill from there to a point where, and I said, I'm not very proud of this, but I actually put my fist through the cabinet where the sales licenses are, grabbed my license and says, I'm going out of here, and blew out. So that was my one blaze of glory in the car business, where I launched like we always want to. We always have these scenarios in our head, like, I'm going to do this. I did it.
Yeah. Good,
but it was
good.
based on this kind of stuff. And now a major company like Cox is saying, this is what it's going to take to increase the loyalty in your service drive and keep your dealership open 10 years later. We need to use the technology and the tools we have. Just little videos. Introduce your service drive on TikTok or on Instagram. It takes 30 seconds. And it's not even a video you need to put a lot of time into editing and adding effects to, because that's really popular, right? Instagram allows you on Reels all kinds of cool stickers and effects. You don't even need that. Just a basic video. Have your service manager, have a service advisor introduce himself, introduce the drive, point it out, show where the drive is for customers that are coming in. Do a weekly series. Have one of your technicians that is doing stuff on a constant, pull a cabin air filter. I mean, one with like
Yeah.
leaves stuck in it and like, bees and fur and all kinds of, and hold it up and say, folks, this is the air that goes into the inside of the car. That's why they call it the cabin air filter. Is this what you want to breathe? Or is this? And hold up a fresh one. All those kind of things that'll help inform, and you can make them entertaining. You can make them educational, and that'll attract an audience. And then when those people are feeling comfortable with you, they're going to get their vehicle serviced with you. And if they're servicing with you because they have the trust, guess what else they'll do when they need to replace that vehicle, right? Brain surgery time. Let's figure this out. Maybe they'll buy a car here too.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is culture, and because we're talking about loyalty and trust and having there's the stereotype of the dealer, and everyone I talk to that isn't in automotive, they all have the same idea. And so maybe, there are some organizations that do have a good culture and do put the customers and the employees, focused. Their behavior, their vision, all of that is focused on customers, and it needs to be on employees just as well, because employees and customers are intertwined. So a couple days ago, there's a guy that he shared something. I don't remember what platform. It might have been Twitter, which I'm not on very much, but he just became a general manager. I still to this day don't know who he is, because he's got a Twitter handle that just isn't him. But anyway, he became a general manager a few months ago. But he shared that just the concept that dealership inventories are coming back to normal, quote unquote, normal pre-COVID. Supply chain issues are not as prevalent, and we're coming back to normalcy. And so his point was that all those junk fees that were being charged during the time when pretty much it was you were taking orders for vehicles rather than selling them are going to go away. And I re-shared what he wrote, but I said, now all we have to do is figure out how to fix the culture that created those junk fees in the first place. Right. Listen, I'm all for profit, but you can I've proven this, that you can have very, very high profit, very like all the numbers, like hit all the numbers, and have really happy customers, and the customer experience is good and your online ratings are good. But it's possible to do that. But the culture is such that, let's just see if we can do this and that and the other, and whatever the market will take. And when someone's desperate for a car, they are going to just say yes because they don't have a choice. But
right, 2 years ago, you could get away with that. Yeah. When you had the only Ford Maverick on the ground, when you had the only, Civic Si that was out there at all, you could say, yeah, you can buy it, but you also need to buy the $1,800 paint protectant package. You need to buy the $500 interior protectant package. You need to buy the tire and wheel protect, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 worth of additional costs that may not have been the greatest value to the end consumer. And now, the FTC, and then there's been some rulings that are coming down on some of these fees, and it's going to get harder. But it doesn't have to be. If you just do the right thing in the first place, it doesn't mean it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
If I was a dealer right now, I wouldn't be worried about it. You could have all the rulings you want. I do things the right way. My customers see what they're getting. They appreciate what they're getting. And if they don't want it, they don't take it. And it's nice, cut and dry. It's nice and simple. We're transparent. We like to make it quick for the customer. But that's me. The fact that they have to have a ruling means that it's still going on. And in fact, I think I shared with you, I posted in that ruling there, one of the fees that was mentioned was oil changes for EV customers. And the only reason that had to be included is because they found enough evidence of customers buying an EV that somebody snuck in a maintenance package on them that includes free oil changes for 3 years or 36,000 miles. God. I get it. I'm a car guy, but I get that. Yeah, that's not cool.
No, not cool. No. Yeah. Anyway, I think just to put a finer point on it, I just I'm about the customer and making money. It's those two things. And those two if you want to make more money, you need to have happy customers, and they have to trust you and be loyal. Somehow
And the
we're
best way
getting
to have
away.
happy customers, have happy employees.
Yes,
Because
but
happy employees treat your customers like they're being treated, and it works out. It just works.
yeah, but I think the point is that you don't have to treat customers like shit and only go after the profit. That is short-sighted. If people won't come back, they'll tell everyone they know how awful of a time they had. I can't believe I'm still having to talk like this.
Right?
It's just, it never stops. But I don't know. So, but it has gotten better, but it's not, but I think Mike and we're trying to do with the podcast is just try to give you guys, we know you're not a dealer necessarily. We don't have a lot of dealers that listen to our podcast. We have marketers, we have non-dealership people, right? We have, so, but I think at least what we're trying to do is give you some bite-sized nuggets to just take back and try to like apply to either your business or that kind of thing, just to your own scenario. The points that I made are yes, they're service department based or automotive based, but you can take that and tweak it to your own. And that's, I think, what our main goal is as we go forward with the podcast. Both of us were, maybe me more than you, but have severe burnout, and so we had to kind of take a break for a while. But we're coming back, and so for the new year, I just think the bite-sized helpful stuff is, we're going to be deliberate about that. And so, yeah.
And since you mentioned marketers and kind of non-automotive people, real quickly, I wanted to throw this in there. I've been saving it for a little bit. We like to talk about businesses outside of automotive, and one of the ways that to increase your business really quickly is with a properly managed and maintained Google business profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. A recent paper from Bright Local showed some actual data to back up what I've been saying as far as posting images. I love to post pictures of the businesses that I visit. At night I'll go and I'll put them on the Google Maps and Google business profiles of those businesses because I believe it helps them increase their visibility. Businesses with 100 or more pictures on their Google business profile, which is also their Google Maps profile, receive 52% more website visits and 35% more calls than businesses with less than 100.
Okay.
What does that mean? It's free.
Yeah.
Go out, take some pictures of your business, take some pictures of the inside, take some, pictures that show it's a business, nice things about it. There's no limit, right? There really isn't. They don't have to be professional. They don't have to be retouched. They just images that show your business, what you do, what you sell, who you are. Run with it. That's the one nugget I can share. Whatever business, if you're a florist, if you're a restaurant, if you're a chiropractor, if you're a dealership, you need to have a lot of images because people are visual creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And the more images you get, the higher percentages you're going to get people that click through to your site and call your business.
Yeah. And I know that clients that you work with freelance, and I can tell you with Honolulu, that is 100% the fact. We get a lot of calls. There's a report that comes every month, right? So we get a lot of phone calls. We got a lot of visits to our website, and we're a horse rescue. I mean, not a lot of people are searching for that kind of stuff, but I share every week. I just have a reminder in my phone every Thursday. I just remind myself to upload whatever photos I took. I'm the main content gatherer, shall we say, at the ranch. So I have anywhere from a dozen to 20 photos or videos every week, and so I just upload them. And honestly, if if you have that, what if you're like, so you're a business that maybe isn't a brick and mortar, you can like me, I'm on Google business profile, but I don't have a like physical business. It's all virtual. So, but you can think about things that you share on social that can be made into an image. And then your customers, if you are definitely like a restaurant or a dealership or whatever, you can encourage your customers and come up with kind of little inspirational ideas for them. And that's even better because that Google likes the user generated content stuff. So yeah, good tip.
Excellent. And shifting gears on a high note, we want to kind of keep it short and sweet, and move forward with a little bit more abbreviated format. I did want to mention, because it's the holiday seasons, right? Everybody has a favorite holiday song, and one of my favorites is especially relevant this year because gentleman by the name of Mars Williams. What's Mars's last name? I always know as Mars. Mars Williams plays saxophone, or he played saxophone. I played with a local band called the Waitresses for a period of a couple years. And then he was actually picked up and asked to fill in for the saxophonist for the Psychedelic Furs when they were on tour. And the Psych Furs loved his ass so much, and he did such a stellar job with them. He ended up staying as a permanent member of the band for almost 10 years with the Psych Furs. But the reason I mentioned that, we lost Mars this year, a couple of months back. It was a bummer. But like I said earlier, when we lose folks, especially people that we really, really like in music, we still get to enjoy them in the work that they created. And one of the works that he's well known for is a Christmas song that the Waitresses did called Christmas Rapping, which when it came out, rap was kind of at its beginning. And the song is kind of a rap to more of a rock tempo. And the title Christmas Rapping is a play on that. It's spelled W, like wrapping your gifts. So it works on a bunch of different levels, but it's also a rap type of song, but to a rock beat. So it's a great song. The sax work in it is awesome. I know you've heard it because it's been used in every Christmas movie that's been made in the last 10 years. It's just a really great song. So that's my musical contribution. Go listen to Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses.
I'll put a link in the show notes. My take on music this week is something I stumbled upon. I don't know how, but it's one of those YouTube, wormhole.
I'm sure glad you did, because when you sent it to me, that was an hour out of my day that I just loved.
It's a remastered Joy Division concert. I guess you would call it concert, not. I guess that's what you would call it, but they were at the Apollo Theatre in Manchester, UK, which is where they were from. Joy Division. If you're not familiar with Joy Division, they were a band in the late 70s. Ian Curtis was the lead singer and the founder. He committed suicide in May of 1980, and then out of that bloomed one of Mike's favorite bands, New Order. And so you've probably heard of New Order. If you haven't, you've heard their songs. But Joy Division, anyway, they had a concert at this Apollo Theatre in Manchester, UK, in October of 79, and it's remastered. It's amazing.
Freaking amazing.
Amazing. I just can't even believe there's, like, every time I think we are in such a time we're so lucky to be able to have these things that you never imagined you could see. And so I'll put a link in the show notes for that, because it's about an hour long, maybe a little longer. So, but if you're a Joy Division fan, or if you want to just check it out, grab a cup of coffee, a beer,
it will be the best hour of your day.
Yep. Take a breather from the holiday stress and the frenzy, and just watch Joy Division, because it's crazy good. So
I second that completely.
Yeah.
All right, we are doing good, so we'll take this opportunity to say happy holidays. Kathi, all the best to you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, because we won't get together again until after the new year. So
yeah,
Happy New Year, my friend.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. And I'm sure we'll have stuff to say about the new year next episode. But in the meantime, have a good fun and happy times with your family or your friends, whichever, or both. And we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you for listening in. Almost 1,000 of you have downloaded this podcast just in 23 alone. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. Yep. All right. Well, we will see each other soon. Bye for now.